Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. How's it going? We are here. It is Thursday morning, June 18th, and here we are. We are back at one of my happy places this morning, watching the ducks and a little wildlife in the midst of urban Florida. So we are just here trying to enjoy uh, things this morning, trying to enjoy what we've been blessed with. I need to just make sure that we have sound. So let me just go ahead and make sure that we have sound. Okay? Give me 1 second. Still trying to do stuff I don't want it to do. Oh, you know why? Because I got to go here. That's what I got to do. I got to go to this. 1 second. Just let me see what's going on here. Make sure we are live. And then I can hear myself. Yep, we're good. Totally good. Look at this, guys. At this. All right. So we're going over here. Oops, not that. And we're going to turn that down. And we're going to pin the tip jar. All right. Give me 1 second. We'll pin the tip jar. Here we go. Copy. I wonder if you're not getting the whole thing there. We'll have to see about that. If I copy it, look at this, guys. It's 10:31, and we are hitting the ground running this morning. Wow. This is the first, right? This is the first. Whew, it means we are doing something right this morning. I got to tell you that, let's see. I got to tell you that this morning has been interesting. It's It's only 10:30, and it's already been so interesting. And just to tell you how interesting it's been, no coffee. I've already had some coffee, but we're on to straight Mountain Dew now. Don't judge. It's a Mountain Dew kind of day because it has already been crazy. Okay, so here we go. We got 3 things to talk about today. 3 things we are going to talk about. And I'm trying to learn how best to do this so that YouTube understands the chapter idea to make it easier for you guys so you don't have to sit through a whole hour of a live stream. I'm trying to adapt and grow. I understand that we live in a TikTok kind of era and that people like to consume media in short little snippets, which is why I do the shorts every day. But if you're interested and you need someone to sit with you, here we are. So, in case you are new to the channel, my name is Faith, hence the Caring Connections with Faith. And the point of this channel is to build a community where we can show up as we are, just as we are, no matter if we're having a good day, a bad day, somewhere in between. We can just show up and hang out together and support each other. So that's the point of the channel. Thank you for watching, for being here today. So the 3 things that we're going to talk about today is the title, Sitting in the Crap, right? Yesterday I posted a short about the crap that the state of my life right now is pretty much one big pile of crap inside the van as we're renovating. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about the idea of fake it till you make it. And what does that look like? Is it even a real thing? Should it be a real thing? We're going to talk about that. And then the third thing today we're going to talk about is a show that I have been watching for a couple of years now, and I really love it. It's called Married at First Sight. Again, because I love psychology, it's really, really great. Like, it really shows, like, throwing two people together and having them be married and, like, try to figure all that stuff out in, like, 2 months is crazy. So I love the dynamic, and we're going to talk about that a little bit, how our childhood affects us. So those are the three things we're going to hit on today. So let's go. 10:34. Amazing. We're doing great today. Okay. So topic number one. Let's start. The mess that I live in at the moment. And it's kind of funny that we're talking about crap, because the last couple of weeks my life sure has felt pretty darn crappy and messy and all the things, right? So for those of you who are new here and may not know my life story, I have had numerous health issues in the last 7 years. I had massive heart attack in 2019, which then created this huge snowball of health issues that I've had to try and learn how to cope with, and lost my house, lost my child being able to be with me, like all of it, right? So I've had to learn how to recreate a life, and I love the life that I have recreated, and I think that's something that we're constantly doing. We're constantly having to recreate the life that we live in, and then that takes thought, it takes evaluation, it takes work, right? So that's all going to tie in with all three of the points today. So getting back to the crap, sitting in the crap, yesterday I posted a short, and the whole other side of my van, like the passenger side of my van, I live in a van because I lost my home due to my health. And so I moved into the van, and I have learned and made a beautiful van life here that I love, and was happy to then share and welcome a partner into a couple of years ago. And that partner decided that they wanted something different, and that's fine. So I am learning now and having to recreate again what van life looks like as a single woman. So before my relationship, I slept in a hammock for like 15 years. I slept in a hammock. I love sleeping in a hammock. Even as a little tiny girl, I had back pain. When I would go to sleep at night, I would wake up every single morning with back pain that I couldn't figure out. And so I'm not really sure. I really don't think I have like curvature of the spine or anything really weird. I don't know. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm the princess and the pea, right? I just, every little thing bothers my back when I'm trying to sleep. And it has been like that as long as I can remember. So I started sleeping in a hammock. I can't even remember why I started or how I started, but I started, and I loved it. Loved it. A lot of the world, like especially, more, we would say, less modern or less civilized areas of the world still sleep in hammocks. And it's great. When you go out to the backyard and you get in your hammock, I mean, man, you fall asleep so fast because that thing is so amazingly comfortable. So that's it. I've been sleeping in a hammock for 15 years until I started a relationship. Even when I was married, in my previous marriage, I slept in a hammock. My hammock was on a stand right beside the bed, and that was totally cool. And we made it work. And so then I started this relationship, like I said, almost 2 years ago, and realized how wonderful it is to be able to share your life with someone and share that sleeping space with someone. You know, I love cuddling. I'm a cuddler by nature. And so to be able to snuggle up and cuddle all night, even though it created back pain, was a trade-off that I was willing to make, because that was worth it to me. So a few minutes of back pain until I get all the kinks sorted out in the morning was no big deal. So that's what we did. And my son, who is amazing, love you, Alex, was kind enough. He's amazing with wood. He builds so many things he's built. He's built a bed for someone. He's built a whole computer desk for himself that has like glass inlays so you can see the workings of the computer underneath. Like, he's amazing woodworker. And so we asked him if he would build us a bed. And when you have, like, the van originally was fitted out for myself and to have space for my daughter. So that's the way it was pre-relationship. And so I had tons of storage. I had everything I needed. But then you add another person into the van, right? And then they have all stuff that they want to bring that they need for everyday life. And so we had to adapt and change and make things work for a new picture, a new part of our life. And that was totally fine. So my son Alex made us this really cool bed. It was super high, so we were able to shove so much crap underneath the bed, and that's how we lived, right? So we had pull-out drawers that held our clothes and our stuff, and so that's how we've been living for the last couple of years. And now that season of my life is over, now it's time to recreate a new start, a new life. So it means going back to my hammock and being comfortable, because, you know, when you're in a relationship and you get used to sleeping a certain way, I got to be really honest and real. That bed was horrible. It held so many great memories, and it felt so huge and lonely. It was awful to sleep in that bed every night. And I wasn't sleeping. I haven't really slept in a couple of weeks. And I can't say that last night was any better. Although, when you saw the short yesterday, that whole side was full of crap. And it has been removed. So progress on that side with all my pillows and my blankets and all of the stuff from the bed, so that it would be easy for my son to come in and dismantle the bed and get it out of here. I will say that the whole back of the van behind me, back here, looks like a bomb went off, because now I have all this stuff. I have Frank's poetry in a huge tote back there that was not there before when I originally lived here as a single woman. I have a whole cooler that we bought that is taking up a ton of space that I don't even use. So if you need a cooler and you're in Florida and you're in the Tampa Bay area and you want to reach out, I'm happy to give it away. I'm never in one spot long enough to try and sell it. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I hate wasting money. So I'm having a hard time just throwing it away. Like, that's a waste. So last night was very, very hot. And because I had all of the stuff and the blankets and all the things here around me, this space right here is normally open, and then the air conditioning flows through. Speaking of air conditioning, I need to turn that down because you're probably hearing it. So we'll turn it down. There. So this was all completely blocked off yesterday. So the air conditioning from the front of the van, I don't have air conditioning in the back, so it couldn't get back there. So when I went to go work on setting the hammock up and all of those things, it was so hot, guys. Like, I was pouring sweat within like 5-10 minutes. So I pushed through, and I got the hammock kind of set up. We had already, my dad had helped me drill holes, and so I had already the hooks that I needed to put the hammock back up. And so I got it kind of up, kind of okay. And then I ran over to Planet Fitness and I had a shower and I tried to cool down so that I could try to go to sleep in my hammock. But it was really hot back there. I do have a Max Air fan and I put the fan on and la 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 la. So anyway, it was hot. Last night was hot. And that's okay. So that did not help my sleep. But it was so great. Just get in that hammock and like swing and be peaceful. It was really great. Really, really great. So I'm super thankful for that. So the whole point of telling you that is that sometimes life is just messy, and sometimes there's nothing you can do but sit in the mess and sit in the crap and be okay. That's what I had to do yesterday. From the time that I had to move everything off the bed and put it all around me in big piles, then I had hours that I just had to sit here in this mess that was driving me crazy, that made my brain so agitated. And there was nothing else to do, right? Just had to sit there and try to find peace in the crap. And that's not easy. It's not easy for anybody to do that. And if you can find that peace in the crap, then you are golden, right? That's the whole point, for me anyway, is living in that state of peace, getting as close to that state of peace that I experienced in my near-death experience, to getting as close to that peace as I possibly can at every moment of my life, and not allowing my feelings, which is where we're going to talk about the fake it till you make it, not allowing my feelings to create this roller coaster that I'm constantly on. I've mentioned on the channel before that I am going through a bunch of stuff right now. So the breakup, my friend Maria passed away a week ago, and so we're still, like, they just announced the service, which incidentally, that service for my friend Maria will be next Thursday. So next Thursday there will not be a live stream. We're gonna just take the day and we're gonna be present for that celebration of life for my friend. So I will not be on next Thursday, which nobody probably will care about. So anyway, no live stream next Thursday. So we're sitting in the mess. So a bunch going on right now, and like, it's hard to sit there and be in the process. So you can intellectually understand, yes, I'm dealing with grief right now. I'm dealing with loss. I'm processing all of that. Our brains need to go through all the stages of grief, right? I think there's 5 stages of grief. So we need to sometimes sit in the mess of grief or pain or loss or whatever that is, whatever that looks like in your life. And sometimes we just have to sit there and be okay. Try to be okay and let the feelings come. Let ourselves breathe in the moment. And how do we do that? Sometimes it's really, really hard. And sometimes we don't have the luxury that I have of sitting in this beautiful spot. See, look at this beautiful spot that you can see here. I purposely built my life pre-relationship that places like this were my everyday, because that's what my brain needed to be able to function and stay peaceful. So sometimes, yes, I would sneak into Panera for a coffee, and then I would come right back out. So I wasn't going to Panera. I wasn't going to the library. I wasn't going in civilization, really. My van was my sanctuary. It has windows all the way around, so my PTSD is much more manageable in this van. Actually, my friend Heather and I went to buy a van together. So this company had 3 vans for sale, and so my friend Heather and I went, and we each bought a van because she was going to do van life, as well. I already had a van, but it was a small little minivan. So this was a huge upgrade. Once my disability came through, then I was able to upgrade to this big van that I can stand up in, and it's beautiful. I love it, love it, love it. I call her Baby Beluga. But the other two vans they had did not have windows in the sides. So this used to be a wheelchair transport van, so it has windows all the way around it. It's fantastic. So great for my PTSD. Okay, so but right now you can't even hardly see that there is windows on the inside because I have mattresses and like all this stuff piled up to the roof right now. Even my kitchen area, you can't even get to the kitchen. You can't work in the kitchen. Like there's no functioning in this van right now. It's basically just sit here in the front and then go in the hammock at night and go to sleep. That's how it is right now, and that's okay. That's okay because it's overwhelming, right? It's overwhelming to look at that big, huge pile of mess. And sometimes that's the best we can do is sit here and be like, this is so overwhelming, I don't even know what to do. And that's okay. And it's okay to take a break. It's okay to just sit. And then, you know, that saying, how do we eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So you can do anything. You can accomplish anything. And that's why I love Dr. John Deloney so much, because his whole show is like, what is the next right thing? So we're not thinking about, oh my gosh, I need a 5-year plan here. We're talking about, I have a project that needs to happen, and what is the one next right step? So looking at that, my right step last night was getting that hammock hung up. Then, as I was sleeping in the night, I realized this hammock is not exactly right yet. It's not tweaked to fit the space correctly. So this morning, I ended up in the morning when I woke up that my butt was like on top of the totes and stuff because I had put some knots in the hammock. And so as the weight of my body was in the hammock, the knots got tighter and tighter, which made then the hammock sag further and further. So I had to redo my next step this morning. My first right step was to tie another knot, and then that raised the hammock back up enough that it fits in the space again. So hopefully that knot that I made this morning is going to do it. And then you have to look next. What's the next right step? So the next right step is to figure out what to do about getting the hammock to lay the way I like it. So that's the plan for today. And I have to tell you, part of this whole mess thing is difficult because taking that bed out meant that I was choosing to honor the other person that was in the relationship and honor their words, their actions, take them at their word and believe them when they said that I want something different. And so I did not take the bed out in frustration or bitterness or anger. I laid in that bed for over a week trying to figure out and process with my back killing me and getting no sleep until I was able to come to that point of like, okay, acceptance, I guess, that this is what they've decided. And, you know, like having the bed there with like that little tiny, like, oh, maybe they'll come back. And I had to process that grief and get to the point of grief where I was okay. That if they don't come back, that's totally fine. I need to live now and recreate my life to be what works for me. So that's what I'm doing. I'm honoring their choice and their decision. And so we took all of the wood part of the bed out last night. And then I have this piece of foam that used to sit on the bed, and I just bought it. And it was $30, and that doesn't seem like very much, but it is what it is. So I have this piece of foam, and I was like, man, what should I do about the foam? Because I could return it. It's still in the window, but man, that thing is huge. It's a queen size piece of foam. And so yeah, I could just cut it up, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. But I couldn't bring myself to cut that foam last night. Like that's I guess the final straw. When I cut that foam, there's no going back, right? Like that's another nail in the coffin of my relationship. The final nail where I accept the fact that, yep, this is my new life and I move on. So today I'm going to cut the foam, but I couldn't do it last night. I just wasn't emotionally ready. So yeah, that's sitting in the mess. And sometimes you've got to do it until you can get that little tiny bit of strength to take that baby step in the right direction. And sometimes it just sucks to sit in the mess, but it is what it is. Okay, so that is our first topic. Moving on to our next topic for today. The next topic today then is, if you're in a mess, the whole idea of faking it till you make it. And a therapist told me that a long time ago, and I used to do that. And I kind of did it even when I was suicidal for a long time. After the open heart surgery, I just had to keep showing up and keep trying to be the person that I like, and was able to look at the mirror and say, yeah, I like that person that I see back. That's what Dr. John says too. Be the person that you can look yourself in the mirror and be proud of that person. So does that mean sometimes you've got to fake it till you make it? Because you don't always feel some way, right? You don't always feel friendly. You don't always feel kind. You don't always feel brave. So sometimes you just have to fake it until you make it. So what do you think about that? Is that even a thing? Or is it like not being real? Or, lots of people have different opinions about this. So I would love to know what you think. If you want to leave a comment, that would be so great. I think that I am not going to live my life by my feelings, because those are like a roller coaster. And the whole point of my life now is being peaceful. So in order to do that, sometimes I have to fake it until I make it. Perfect example actually happened this morning. I was in Panera again. At some point, I'm just going to boycott Panera and realize, like, I've got to move on and not do this anymore to myself. So I went into Panera this morning. I had my laptop, I had my Bible, I had all my stuff, and I go into Panera and I find, again, this teeny tiny corner. I couldn't go any further from people, right? I'm in the corner. And being in the corner, it seems to me, signals to people like, I want to be left alone. I want to work. I'm trying to do something here. So here I am in the corner. I have my laptop open. I'm trying to get everything set up for the screen today. And wouldn't you know it, not just any old person, the manager and possibly the owner of the store come over. First, I think it was just the owner, because today at Panera, my Panera, they're doing interviews. So it's a busy day. They have a lot going on, and I get it. But it's not like there were no other tables to sit at, right? Like, she saw me there working, and she came and she sat down, and then she started talking. I don't know who it is, HR or whoever came in today. It's not someone that normally works there. Came in to do the interviews. So she starts talking to her, and super, super loud. Like, this lady's voice is so loud. And so I say nothing. I just try to continue working. I have my headphones on. I'm cranking the volume up, 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 louder and louder. So they stop their conversation, and she starts on her phone, and she's doing something on her phone. And then the store manager comes over, and I have seen this lady many times, but I've never thought that she was kind of a loud person. But she comes over, And she sits down, literally, she's at the table right next to me. I don't know how this keeps happening to me. It's like I send like this invisible wave out into the community, into the universe. Please come and just treat me like crap. I don't know. We're gonna work on that maybe. We'll see. So they're sitting there right beside me, and they're talking about work, but they're also talking about other stuff. And I keep, again, my headphones up until it's so loud in my ears, and I can still hear them talking. And they're laughing away and having a grand old time, right? So I start thinking, okay, here we go again. I can't give them headphones because they're talking. They're not listening to music. So that's not going to work. My headphone thing, it's not going to work. What else can I do? So then again, you have 2 or 3 options. You can ignore them, you can move, or you can speak up. Oh my gosh. All of those are not great options, right? So I decide I'm going to be brave. And I leaned over, and it had been like 15 or 20 minutes already, right? I was trying to read my Bible. I just leaned over and I said, you know what, guys? I have my headphones on and I've been trying hard to block out your conversation, but I need to get some work done and my headphones are already way up loud. Is there any way that maybe you guys could just be a little quieter? And they're like, oh, yeah. And so they started to be quieter. However, because of my health, because of my disability, because I have PTSD, that confrontation sent a spike of cortisol, fight or flight, to my brain, and I had a panic attack then. So the conversation was over. They didn't think anything of it, but I am stuck in Panera, and I'm shaking, like visibly shaking. I could not stop my legs from shaking, and I'm trying to breathe, and I'm doing all my techniques to get through a panic attack. I wasn't about to give up. I wasn't about to leave the situation. That definitely was difficult, you know. Being in a relationship, that person was a buffer for me. That person was like my service human, someone to lean on if I was having a panic attack. They understood that, and they would jump in and help me regulate. And so there today I am by myself, and I'm having to regulate my own self. And you know what, guys? I did it. I did it. It took me almost 30 minutes. I will say that. It took me almost 30 minutes, but I did it. So that's a win, a huge win this morning. When I woke up this morning, I thought, man, how am I ever going to do this live stream this morning? I didn't even know if I had it in me. Last night, as I was going to bed, I was like, I don't even have anything to talk about. Like, I don't have anything to talk about. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know. And see, it all works out. There's always a solution. It always works out. So again, take a deep breath. Whatever mess you're sitting in, it's going to be okay. You might have to do some stuff. You might have to do some hard stuff. You might have to go through panic. There might be lots of steps that you don't like, but it's going to be okay. I know that with everything in me. So the whole point of fake it till you make it, I didn't feel like being confrontational this morning. I certainly had to fake appearing calm on the outside while everything inside me was like freaking out and panicking. So that wasn't a good feeling. But the moral of the story is that I was able to fake it until I made it. And eventually, in that moment of panic, calm returned. I was able to like breathe and do all my stuff and get back to being the person that I want to be. that person of peace, right? So here I am. I've been through a storm this morning. I've been through crap, and I survived, and here I am talking to you. So hopefully your morning is going well, and you don't have a whole pile of crap that you're sitting in. But if you do, welcome. This is a good place to be sitting in crap, and we can sit in crap together. And if you wouldn't mind sharing how you're doing today, that would be so great. Saying hello would be awesome. Even if you leave a comment, if you watch the replay and you could leave a comment, like I am a human being. And while I know that looking for validation and needing validation from someone else is not the best option, I still am human. So that validation still means a lot to me, even though I don't build my self-worth on that validation. Just knowing that someone thinks that this brings something to their world is really, really a gift to me. So if you wouldn't mind giving me that gift and just saying, hello, here's what's going on, I'm part of the community, that would be so helpful to me. It would be a gift to me. So what do you think about fake it till you make it? Some people think that that's not a good way to live and that's not being authentic. I don't know. What do you guys think? So that's fake it till you make it. I would love to hear your thoughts about fake it till you make it. I've been there and I've done it a lot. And this morning I did it. So, and then, the feeling of peace comes back and you move into that space and you go on. So that's fake it till you make it. That was short and sweet, right? So that brings me to the next part of fake it till you make it. The next part of this stream is going to be about our childhood and how that affects us. And that was a big part of fake it till you make it in my life too. So, like I mentioned, I love psychology. I've said that before many times. I love psychology, and I love watching reality TV shows, even though I know that they're not real. Okay, I get it. It's all scripted. And even this show, Married at First Sight, I actually, when I was in university, I went to North Central University in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And when I was in university, I loved to take the bus and go down to the Mall of America. And the Mall of America is this huge mall. I think it used to be one of the largest malls in the world, but I don't know where it sits right now in that hierarchy of malls. But it's this humongous mall, and it was only like a 20-minute bus ride. So I'd get on the bus and I'd go to the mall most days that I didn't have class. So if I didn't have class and I didn't have to work, I was at the mall all day. I'd go to Cinnabon, I'd get some Cinnabon, and I would sit and I'd do my homework, or I'd do, whatever I wanted to do. Sometimes I'd just walk around the mall. I would observe people. I just loved it. So at the Mall of America, when I was in university, this man decided he was going to find a wife. So he convinced, I don't even know how it happened. I should actually link the story. When I get done with the stream, I'll find the story, the news story, and I will link it to you so you guys can watch it. So this guy decides that he needs a wife, and he teams up with the Mall of America, and I think a bridal shop sponsored it too. And so they did this huge thing at the Mall of America where people applied to be his wife. He made a video or something, and people applied, and then his family went through all of the applications and narrowed it down. I think it got narrowed down to like 2 or 3. And then I can't remember if he chose or they chose the final. I don't know. But he had never met the person before. They met that day at the Mall of America. They got married at the Mall of America. And I was there. It was awesome. It was amazing. And this couple got married, and I check on them all the time. And you know what, guys? They made it. They're still married today. They have been through so much. They've been through health problems, job loss. They've been through all of the things that are hard in a marriage, and they have stuck it out together. They have a bunch of kids. It's really awesome. It's really awesome because they made a choice to love someone. They didn't know them from Adam before. They didn't have a spark. They didn't have chemistry. They just chose. They made a choice to love someone and stick with them and be their ride or die no matter what. And that to me is so awesome, right? I've watched my parents do the same thing. Obviously, my parents were not an arranged marriage, but they've been through so much, and they stuck it out. And they just celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary last year. That's why we went to Canada and had this whole big party. Anyway, that choice to love, even when it's hard, and to continue to grow and build something together is just awesome to me. And especially from a psychological perspective. So this show, Married at First Sight, takes that same idea, and it's like a whole TV show. I think we're in season 18 of that show. Anyway, I'm starting watching the new season, so it's brought it back to my attention while I'm watching these couples. They choose 5 couples that get married at first sight, and the experts, there's a team of 3 experts, so it's not just 2 where there might be a fight about something, 3 experts that all have different specialties. So one is a pastor and a counselor, and the other one is a sex therapist, and the other one is a family therapist. So the 3 of them have been doing it right from the beginning. The experts, they're called the experts, and they go to a town. This season is in Chicago, and so they go to town, they do all these interviews. You apply to be on the show, and they pick 5 couples to get married, and they fund the wedding. There's a lot, like I've done a lot of behind the scenes research, and I know that it's not all the way reality, okay? I get that some of it's scripted. Some of it, they like push them. Sometimes they look for drama that isn't there. You know, there's been couples who have loved each other right from the start and had no drama, and they've tried to like force drama for ratings and stuff. I totally get that, right? I'm not stupid. I understand. But you see the dynamics of people trying to get that marriage to be what they want it to be. And so you see them bringing themselves into the marriage, even though they've done these interviews, lots of interviews, and the therapists, the experts go into their homes and like search through their underwear drawer, like they're really, really exposed. So the experts really know these people. And when they match them with another person to get married, they have a really great reason for doing that. And sometimes it's not that they're like identical and oh, they're perfect for each other. Sometimes it's like, you know what? One person has a strength in this area that the other person is weak in and needs, and vice versa. So sometimes it's not going to be easy to be married to that person because they're going to like force you, push you to grow in an area that you don't really want to grow in. But it makes you a better person, right? The whole point of marriage is to have this mirror and you both become better people. That's the whole point of marriage, to be better and grow and learn and build something amazing together and have someone that is your ride or die and is committed to loving you in that way. So I guess I'm just a romantic at heart. And I hope, that all these couples are going to work out. And the reality of it is that we live in a world where people are inherently selfish. We just are. We come out being selfish when we're born. We start yelling and screaming and demanding our way, and it never really gets any better, right? Which leads me to the whole point of this whole Married at First Sight is our childhood. So as I'm watching the show, I'm watching the dynamics of the people, and I'm watching them get triggered. Okay, so that's a big psychological word that we use a lot in today's environment. Oh, I'm triggered, I'm triggered, I'm triggered. And I think it's valid. We do get triggered. And we don't have to get triggered. That's the whole point. We can grow and we can change and we can deal with whatever is behind the trigger. So that maybe ties in with fake it till you make it. Sometimes you might have to fake it till you make it to get past that trigger. But I think living your life with an openness and an understanding that I have stuff inside me that is not cool and is ugly and that needs to be dealt with. I have mess and crap inside a lot of times from our childhood. Even people that have had great childhoods have crap for whatever reason that they've created. Dr. John would say stories that they've made up that have then shaped how they act and react to people. We all do it. Nobody's exempt. We all do it. Okay? So the point is that how do we as people, individuals with a past, how do we keep that past from affecting the present? And that's what I'm watching in this show, Married at First Sight. Their past, our past, affects our present unless we are able to go back and do some work and reform how we view things and how we deal with things and how we react to people. My son is in the parking lot. Here he comes. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I wonder if he's watching. I don't know why he's not at work. My son is in the parking lot. That's so funny. Maybe he's on lunch break. I don't know. Okay. Maybe he's going to Panera. I don't know. Okay. That's so cool. Anyway, back to the stream. We only have like a couple minutes left. I have to leave on time today because I'm taking my daughter and dropping her off at the museum. No, I say that every time. Yesterday, I was like so exhausted and so tired, and I wanted to make a reminder to go to take her to the museum, right? So that it would be on my calendar. And I'm like, set a reminder for the Museum of Water. That's all like my brain could come up with, right? So stupid. Um, so, so yeah, we're going to the Museum of Water. I'm not going. She's going with a friend. We're going to the aquarium. So I need to take her to the aquarium in a little bit. But yeah. Um, so yeah, the fake it till you make it and the realizing. I think that's the thing is realizing that even with the best childhood, we still have baggage. We still have stuff, right? So we still have stuff. We're not going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. And there's still stuff that triggers us, and it's just a thing. It's real. And how do we get through that? How do we sift through the mess and do the next right thing so that the mess isn't controlling us, that we're in control and that we're choosing to build the life that we want to build? How do we do that? Again, that I think, for me anyway, maybe for you too, I don't know, you can tell me. For me, that looks like choosing in every moment to do what, for me, is the right thing. Choosing to do what lets me look in the mirror and be like, I like who I see there. Faith, today you're doing pretty good. And I don't get it right every day. Nobody does. Right? There's so many days where I'm like, oh man, Faith, you really, really messed that one up. Really messed it up. Especially people that we're closest to, unfortunately, because they have to see us at our worst, at our point of exhaustion, and when we're angry. Yesterday, when we were taking the bed out of the van, there was these guys that were parked right beside us, and they had this truck. They were doing a repair on the truck. So the parking spot that I was in, I had to be there because that was convenient for my son. And the parking spots are very small, so they're laying literally by the side of the van, working on their vehicle. I can't get in my driver's door because they're laying there on the ground and they're loud and they're talking and laughing and doing their thing, which they have every right to do. It's not, like it's not their problem that I have PTSD and they're like starting to really cause things in me. That's not their fault. And I'm hot and I'm grieving the loss of this bed getting pulled out, right? And I went upstairs and I was just like verbally vomiting on my son and my daughter in love when she came home. And I really had to in that moment be like, wait, this isn't helping. It's not helpful for anybody. You just have to take a minute and get yourself under control, right? Do the next right thing. And that means just stopping talking. Sometimes that's the best thing to do is just stop talking because it's not helping anybody, right? So I had to take a deep breath and I had to just do the next right thing. So stop talking, come back down to the van. I had to ask the guys, would you be able to move a little bit so that I could drive out and not run you over? And so that's what I did. I just politely said, hey, I need to go now. Is it okay if you just move for a second? And they did. And I was able to drive away and I was able to go change my environment and then continue working on the van. So that's what I did yesterday. I changed my environment. I took a deep breath. I tried to speak with kindness and patience and not be a bitch when I talked to the men about moving my van and being in my way. So, those are all choices. Those are all maybe times when you have to fake it until you make it. And again, going back to the ripple, our actions affect other people. So sometimes we have to fake it till we make it so that we're not hurtful and we're not rude and we're not aggressive in situations, right? That we can still be kind and loving in spite of all the mess and all the crap that's going on in our lives. So there we have it. We have all three parts. First part, the mess that is my life right now, and then in spite of the mess, to fake it until we make it, to be brave and strong and all of those things in moments where we don't feel that way, and thinking about how our childhood affects us. And I want to talk a little bit more about that maybe next week. I have to be honest, I'm really triggered by this whole debate that's going on about the YouTube couple that decided to abort their baby because they found out the baby was going to have possibly, not for sure, possibly carry that gene and have Down syndrome. So that's something that is really triggering for me and I would really like to talk about. So we might do that next. I'm not really sure. We'll see how it goes. So that will be next Tuesday maybe. And then there will be, again, no live stream next Thursday because I'm going to go to my friend's funeral and celebrate Maria on Thursday. So no live stream. I don't know if I will try and make up the live stream or we'll just go without. Maybe I'll do it Friday. I don't know. We'll see what the calendar looks like. We'll see. So as we're wrapping up, what in your life is hard right now? What is messy? What crap are you sitting in? Let me know in the comments. That would be so great to hear from you. And what areas do you have to fake it until you make it in? Maybe it's being brave. Maybe it's being strong when you don't feel like it. Maybe it's being kind when you don't feel like it. So let me know that. And, I think it's worthwhile talking about those things in our childhood that trigger us and how we can get through and move past some of that stuff so that we're less triggered. So we might talk about that again on the stream too. So if you've made it this far, thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of love. to you all. I so appreciate you hanging in there with me and validating my effort and my desire to build a community. That's the whole point of the channel. Once again, I just want to build a community where people can come and show up, whether they're having a great day, a horrible day, somewhere in between. They can show up and know they are loved just as they are and that they are enough. And so that's what we're doing here. If you want to be part of that, that would be so great. Come and join us. And maybe that looks like you subscribing to the show. Maybe that looks like you sharing the channel with your friends. I don't know what that looks like for you, but I would love it if you would join us and be part of this community that we're building together. So I am going to sign off for now. This weekend, I'm going to go and spend some time again. Obviously, I got a lot of crap to deal with back there, so I'm going to do that part of the weekend. I'm also going to take time to relax and refresh and try and recharge and continue processing some of the grief and the loss that's in my life right now. So I'm going to do that. And then I will see you back here on Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. I think it's Eastern Daylight Time. I just learned that they changed that. So Eastern Daylight Time, I'm going to be back on Tuesday, and I will see you then. For now, I hope you have a great weekend and take good care of yourself, and I will see you next time. Lots of love.